What if I told you real estate is now one of the biggest forces driving Nigeria's economy? Not oil, not banking, not agriculture, but real estate. In fact, according to recently released GDP data, real estate has now become the third largest contributor to Nigeria's economy in the first quarter of 2026. Let that sink in for a moment. While many people still see land as just land and buildings as just houses, the numbers are telling a completely different story. The question here is, what do smart investors know that many people do not know? Because if you understand where economic growth is happening before everyone does, you can position yourself ahead of the crowd, and that's exactly what we'll be discussing in this video. I recently came across an economic report published in Business Day based on data released by the National Bureau of Statistics, and something immediately caught my attention. The report listed the 10 biggest contributors to Nigerian real GDP in the first quarter of 2026. Now, many people will quickly guess, maybe it's oil, agriculture, banking, or even telecommunication. And yes, all these factors are there, but what surprised many people is that real estate ranked number 3. Not number 10, not number 8, not number 5, but number 3. That means real estate contributed more to Nigeria's economy than oil, agriculture, banking, telecommunication, and the rest. Think about that for a moment. Real estate is not just where to park money. It is now one of the engines driving Nigeria's economy. And if that doesn't get your attention as an investor, I don't know what will. Now, here's where things get very interesting. Because most people look at a piece of land and just see grass or see bush. Smart investors look at the same piece of land and see wealth. The difference is actually perspective. Okay, now let us look at what this report is really telling us. According to the data, trade contributed about 17.89%. Crop production contributed about 17.38%. Then came real estate at approximately 13.10%. Think about that. Real estate contributed more to Nigeria's economy than the entire telecommunication and information sector in Nigeria. More than construction, more than crude oil, and more than natural gas. That should tell you something very important. Nigeria is urbanizing and cities are expanding. Again, people need home, businesses need offices, and developers need lands. Government needs infrastructure, and all of these activities revolves around one thing, which is real estate. Now, let us bring this conversation back home to Abuja, because Abuja is not growing by accident. Every road being constructed, every district being opened up, every expressway, every infrastructure project is really creating real estate value somewhere. And here's the interesting part. By the time most people notice that value, the biggest profit has already been made. And that is why places like Asokoro, Metama, Wuse, and the rest became very expensive. Not because they were always expensive, but because some people understood where growth was going before everyone else did. So the real question isn't, why is Abuja very expensive? The real question here is, where is Abuja going to next? Because that simple question is what separates ordinary buyers from strategic investors. So what does all of this mean? It means real estate is not just where to live. It is basically one of the major engines driving Nigeria's economy. According to the latest GDP data, real estate contributed over 13% to the Nigerians' real GDP in the first quarter of 2026, making it one of the top performing sectors in the entire country. Out of all the industries in Nigeria, banking, manufacturing, oil and gas, etc., real estate remains one of the highest contributors to Nigerians' economic activities. That tells us something very important. The people building wealth through real estate are not just buying land. They are positioning themselves in a sector that continues to expand alongside population growth, urbanization, infrastructure development, and increasing housing demand. And this is exactly why smart investors pay attention to data, because data reveals what the average person cannot see. While many people focus on today's price, smart investors focus on tomorrow's value. While many people wait for an area to become very popular, smart investors position themselves before the crowd arrives. You see, the biggest opportunities in real estate rarely looks obvious from the beginning. They become very obvious only after the prices have already moved. And that is why understanding economic trends, infrastructure development, and the Abuja master plan can give you a significant advantage as an investor. The question is not whether Abuja will keep growing. The real question is, will you position yourself before the next wave of growth will arrive? If you're serious about investing in Abuja real estate, Don't just invest based on emotion alone, social media hype, or hearsay. Invest based on data, infrastructure, and the direction of growth. And most importantly, invest based on strategy. If you would like professional guidance on land banking opportunities in Abuja, emerging district with strong growth potentials, property verification and due diligence, understanding the master plan, short and long-term real estate investment strategy, call or WhatsApp the number shown on your screen, and I'll be so happy to help you identify real estate opportunities in Abuja that aligns with your budget and your investment goals. And please, if you found this video valuable, like, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel for more Abuja real estate insights, investment strategy, and wealth building opportunities. And most importantly, share this video with someone who only believes that real estate is just about buying lands and houses. I will see you in my next video. Peace.